Fucking bare bones.
Bare bones?
Yeah, bare bones.
At his house, people. That's where he's bare bones at.
Yeah, if any listener listens to this and you're like, man, I don't know what to do with this really nice kitchen table that I'm not using for any reason, go on ahead and shoot that shit my way.
Actually, I might be able to give you my kitchen table.
What's your address?
I gave out my email address in a couple podcasts ago because I was heated about something. I was like, you got a problem with this, email me. I don't know if
We'll
I should
talk
have done
later,
that
but
or
if you,
not. Yeah.
we're about to get a new, not a new kitchen table, but a hand-me-down. So I'll let you know.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, it'd be for free.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool beans.
it's nice.
I like free.
It has 3 chairs. It's missing 1 chair, but you could probably get it online and buy a chair.
Yeah.
Or you just get the manufacturer.
3 would be cool. 3 is probably perfect for you.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is you could get online and order another chair. That's the only thing you'd have to pay for. It's an expensive table. It was like a $500 table.
No, I know. That's a nice ass fucking table upstairs.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
That's the table that we got from your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that table's cool.
Yeah. Welcome to Talk 24, ladies and gentlemen. It is close to October. We're getting closer and closer to our podcast with our special guest, which we're pretty excited about.
We're 1 day away from October.
Yeah. So welcome, Trey. Welcome, Jesse.
Welcome,
Yes.
Paul.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love October, man. October is
It's a good month.
Halloween, fucking football. The fall is like, like the weather starts cooling off. You're probably tired of all the heat, depending on where you live.
Ooh, actually, I
Like
have a
Missouri's
question.
real humid, so. Yeah, what's your question?
Since you like Halloween so much,
I do.
and you might have a little expertise in this, but what's the whenever you're deciding on a costume to pick out, what are the steps in doing that? Like, what in your mind? Like for a popular costume that people are going to like, they're going to understand. Like you want to be
Like for me, my thing is, and this is what I'm going to try to focus on this year, which I didn't do last year, is I want something that the beard doesn't throw the costume off to where I have to like shave the beard. So I need something with, because I want it to look, I want it to look legit, and I don't want the fucking beard to throw it off, because you can go and get a wig and shit, but if that character you're trying to portray, that thing, doesn't have a beard, that looks off. So I think I'm set to where, because I'm not getting rid of the beard, I need my costume to also be from somebody who has a
You
beard.
can't be Lady Gaga with that beard.
Exactly. I couldn't be Lady
you
Gaga.
could be Lady Gaga plus Caitlyn Jenner mix with.
Caitlyn Jenner never even had a beard, bro. Come on.
No, yeah, I think the best costume I've ever had was Mr. Rogers.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it was pretty dope. This is when he was still alive. I pulled it off pretty well. Easy. I mean, the best way to get a costume, if you want to be innovative, is go to the thrift store. And you can usually find a costume that way.
Do you want something that's like clever and like, or do you want something that you know what I mean? Do you aim to pick something out that not a lot of other people are going to dress up as that year?
Kind of, sort of. But I ended up, like, just kind of breaking down on it and went with just, like, I think I went with 80s rocker. Just, like, 80s rocker look. Like, nothing too specific.
Which, by the way, that's a great costume that you have.
Yeah, no, it was legit.
Shorts, yeah.
I took a lot of time on that. I spent some money on that costume, too. It was legit. But, honestly, my dream costume, but I'd have to get rid of the beard for this, is to be Hunter S. Thompson. I've always, since I was fucking, since I watched Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, I've always wanted to be Hunter S. Thompson for Halloween. This is the problem. 2 problems with that. 1, I'd have to get rid of the beard. You can't have a beard and be fucking Hunter S. Thompson. And 2, it's so cold, fucking, at October 31st that you can't wear just shorts and a Hawaiian shirt, and like
you have
fucking
to sacrifice if you were.
Yeah, you really got to sacrifice because that's not like, which a lot of fucking them hoes out there don't give 2 shits about the weather when it comes to Halloween.
It can be very cold on Halloween.
Yeah, it normally is. I don't ever remember a warm Halloween.
It was fairly warm, I feel like, last year.
Last year wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
I feel like the problem with that costume idea is that most likely the average person doesn't know what Hunter S. Thompson looks like.
Oh, I don't give a shit, though. I know who Hunter S. Thompson is. You dress up for you. You don't dress up for other people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because then they'll be like, hey, who are you dressed up as? You're like, Hunter S. Thompson. Like, oh, who is that? And I'm like, well, let me tell you. He's fucking, this. And then,
Oh, see, I have the opposite feeling that I want to dress up as something like very, very clever that maybe 1% of people are dressing up as. Like, oh, that's a badass idea for a costume. Like
That's how you win costume contest.
Yeah. You can
So-
get super creative with it.
Yeah.
I had a friend one year. This is when we lived at the barn. He actually dressed up as me. And whenever he came to the party, and it was a Halloween party, I mean, minus the face, but the clothes, it was me.
That's hilarious.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty chill.
Yeah, that's sexual right there. That's legit.
Is Halloween the best holiday?
Halloween's my second favorite holiday.
I like Christmas.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Christmas is my favorite holiday, but I fucking love Halloween though.
Yeah, Halloween, you got women dressing up real nice. You got kids going out getting candy and stuff. Like some delicious candy. I was like that kid whenever you would find out where they have the full candy bars at.
Dude, I gave kid literally a full package of Shock Tarts, like rolls of Shock Tarts, because I was tired of eating them.
Was that last year?
Yeah,
Dude, remember when we were
down the street?
Oh yeah, that was dope, man. We were passing out like ramen noodles, boxes of like fucking rice and shit.
Frank Ranch.
That's fucking so ghetto. Come the fuck on with that.
Oh, Jesse lost it last year. He ran out of candy and he was freaking out.
I started giving out change.
He started giving out money.
Literally money.
Dad, don't do that.
I felt so bad.
Go to your cabinet, and just open it and start giving them ramen
Pepper.
noodles. Yeah.
No, I felt like
some
shit.
Sour cream.
Well, first of all, just to let you know, this year I'll be much more prepared. I'm gonna buy twice the amount of candy that I bought.
Sam's
no matter
Club,
what it's
man.
gonna get.
Sam's Club. You want to be that house every year. They're like, I want to go to that house because that's where the candy's at.
And dude, I'm not that one piece of candy motherfucker. When a kid shows up, they get the biggest fucking handful I can pull out of the shit and fucking give it to them. Because I'm not about to be that guy. First of all, I have the best decorations in all of Cimarron Trails, by far. I'm gonna say it right now. I go hard on decorations. I have the spookiest house.
And so this year you're going to add on from what you had last year. So you have all the shit from last year. You're going to buy more shit. Wow.
And it's going to keep building. It's legit.
Are you going to go with the haunted house this year?
Probably not, just because I realized how inappropriate that actually was with, like, even though it sounds cool, would it be like, hey, let your kids come through my haunted house?
Bro,
like,
I remember whenever I was
creepy dude with a big ass beard and like wig looking like Buffalo Bill motherfucker, just like, let your children roam my haunted house. I'm sketchily built in my backyard. Like, it initially sounded really cool, but then I'm like, nah, any smart parent would be like, no, that's okay.
Wait, when you trick-or-treated, you never went into someone's house and had like a haunted house in it?
No.
I did.
I did too.
My parents never let me go trick-or-treating, man.
So what you do is...
I went to trunk-or-treats, like the Christian bullshit.
Instead of doing it in your house, do it in where you park your car. You could have like a small mini haunted area right there. They wouldn't even have to go in your house.
But my whole front yard is a haunted area, though.
Oh,
I got the strobe lights. Looks like a graveyard. I got ghosts and goblins up in my fucking tree that already say strobe lights. I got hella strobe lights. I had the one thing that's just the revolving, like... Halloween looking pattern that just like it's like a projection that projects over your whole house. I changed out all my light bulbs to fucking like orange or blackout fucking lights and shit. I got skulls and shit everywhere, carved pumpkins. I do all that shit. The one thing I was disappointed with was I bought a fucking fog machine because I was like, this is gonna be nice.
Yeah, it sucked.
Yeah, the fog machine kind of sucked.
Where'd you get it at?
I got it at Menards. So it was kind of cheap. If you're gonna go fog machine, you got to spend the fucking money and get a good fog machine.
Was it like $50?
I think I spent 30.
On
20 or
one?
$30. Yeah, for a shitty one. Like, you really, like, drop some money. Like, if you want it to work outside, because that's what I really wanted. I was going all the way. Like, I wanted fog, just strobe lights and shit. Like, yeah. But the fog machine was not strong enough to do anything outside. And then inside, it just kind of made everything smoky. It didn't sit on the floor. Like, that's what I wanted. I wanted like a rolling fog on the floor, nothing to be like up in the air. But it's very difficult
You live
to
and you
achieve.
learn.
Yeah, you live and you learn. It's the one downside.
Do you think as a kid though, whenever you're getting ready for Halloween and you want to prepare what you want to be, that kind of like builds you up for later on in life? Like that's what your dream to be. Like if you want to be Superman or Batman, right? So you finally get to be him for one day. I'm just saying when you're that young.
Oh yeah.
You don't think so?
No, I think so. I think you're right.
I remember when I was little and I had the Superman costume, and my sister like curled my hair up, up front like that, and it had like the fake like cardboard abs. I was like, this is so legit. I loved it. I was like some fat kid. I was like, look at my abs. I was like 8 years old, I think. That was legit. That was a good Halloween.
So you have parties every Halloween too, right now?
Yeah. So yeah.
Like legit.
2 years running.
Yeah, this
legitimate
is the second
parties.
year. Yeah, legitimate parties.
Yeah.
I take Halloween serious. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Oh, the inside, by the way. I didn't even talk about the inside decorations, which I had nothing to do with. That was all Trey and Kyler that went ham on that. The inside was fucking amazing,
it was
too.
Pretty good.
The whole...
The red lights were awesome.
Yeah.
Like, those were definitely... The black lights were okay, but the red was, like, scary.
Yeah.
And the webs and stuff.
The web, yeah.
What advice do you give to people who are trying to throw a Halloween bash, man?
You got to have the right decorations,
Make sure
bro.
people come on time.
And in costume. If they show up not in costume, you tell them fucking get out of my fucking house on Halloween. You fucking...
Did people come without costumes last year?
No, but I'm just saying that's a rule in general that if somebody showed up to my Halloween party not in costume, I'd be like, I'm sorry, you got to go.
And also,
make sure everybody shows up in costume.
Come on time, because last year we were like starting to freak out a little bit because they were like all 2 hours late.
Yeah, I ended up getting that nervous drunk because I was like, fuck, we put in so much work into this. And then, it was still legit though in the end. I still did
there
dance
was a
battle.
ton of people there I didn't even know.
Yeah.
You should charge $5 a head and do best costume. And whoever wins gets the money. Second place gets yeah. Any other advice?
Maybe find a place for your dog to go during the party so he doesn't rage.
Yeah. I think I did that last year.
Oh, yeah, we put him downstairs.
Yeah. He'll be more chill this year. He's slowly chilling out, but no, I think that's it.
Maybe put an ad on Craigslist for the party.
Yeah, like Project X style.
Yeah. Do that.
Oh man, that'd be so aggressive.
That'd be scary.
That would be scary.
Well, yeah. Hopefully everyone has a great Halloween this year. Gives a lot of candy away and parties hard. What day is it on this year?
It's on a Wednesday.
Okay.
I have to get my Thursday covered. My Thursday morning covered.
That'll be easy.
Yeah, no.
I think I might just quit my job before
Yeah. Halloween, bitches. Cool. So yeah, that's Halloween, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to have a badass house and you want to have a badass party, that's the advice right there. Do that. Don't go to Menards and get a fog machine for $30 because it's not going to work.
Yeah, it won't work. You're going to be disappointed with it. Everything else from Menards, though, they got really good prices on everything else.
Yeah,
I fully recommend Menards.
I do too, but don't use their rebates because they usually don't send them. Or if they do, it's like 2 years.
Yeah,
I've
for
never.
Real, it is.
Yeah,
it's like 6 months.
Their rebates usually don't come.
No, they do.
But a lot of people I've seen a lot of people they've had issues with getting their rebates.
Really?
I'm not saying that Menards doesn't give the rebates, but I'm saying be skeptical of it.
This is what's always confused me, and I've had this conversation with you before about exactly what a rebate is. So if it's a 10% rebate, they'll just send you money.
Yeah, or a credit. Basically,
or a credit to reuse it. That's so stupid. Just fucking
no,
give
it's
me
not. It's not stupid, man. I mean, to wait like 2 months, you're right, it is. But I bought windows for my house. It was like $2,000. I got a check in the mail for like $250, $300, like 2 months later, just to spend at Menards on whatever I want.
Ooh,
so is it always that you can only spend it at Menards?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of phone companies do that and stuff too.
I mean, I'm cool with it. You know, if I'm going to spend money there and it's the same price as Home Depot or Lowe's, and then you get just a gift card to go back there and use that money on whatever you want.
It's just a sales tactic, really.
But the prices are the same, so it's legitimately free money next time you go to Menards and buy something.
Yeah.
Cool beans.
Yeah,
cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Rebates are cool.
Yeah.
If you want to wait for it.
But I feel like it's really only beneficial if you're buying something that costs a lot of money. Like if you're just gonna go get a $50 thing, why the fuck wait like 6 months for
$5?
Yeah, for $5.
Next time you go to Menards, that's a free tube of something.
I mean, they have candy there.
Free tube of caulk.
That's where I get my pillows from. I think they have really good deals on pillows there. I recommend their pillows. They're comfy ass pillows.
I'm done with Menards, man. They
Okay,
can't be
cool
talking
beans.
about Menards like that.
Yeah,
They're not paying us.
you're right. They're not paying us.
Maybe they will one day.
Could be the start to something beautiful.
It's very true.
A beautiful disaster.
How perfect is the human body, Jesse?
On a a particular person or just in general?
Just in general, the inside of the body.
The inside
I was
of the
actually
body.
thinking about that the other day.
In what aspect?
Well, I was driving, or Ashley was driving my car. I was a little drunk, and I was like just looking at my hand and literally just like moving it, like with my mind, because that's what you do when you do movements. You think about it, and you move, and it's like that's so crazy. Like I just don't get it. It's so amazing just thinking about moving your hand and your fingers and your arms just on command.
Same thing when you're driving, like long distances, and you're on the highway, and like sometimes don't you feel like you just space out, and then like you start remembering like, oh shit, I'm driving.
Yeah.
But like you were driving the whole time, you just weren't thinking about it, and it's crazy.
What's bigger than that is a lot of people, like let's say you drive for an hour, you really only remember like maybe like you don't remember like 90% of it.
Yeah.
You're like your brain literally is like this is pointless information to remember Like I'm just gonna exit this out of your brain.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like you're thinking about the day or whatever else is on your mind, football, anything like that, and you're driving while you're thinking about that, and your eyes are seeing the road, but like I don't feel like I'm seeing the road. Like I'm just thinking about whatever I want to think about.
Yeah, it's weird. No, you can being able to multitask like that and subconsciously do things, and
It's insane. The brain. Don't they say that they have computers now that they're more capable of what our brain can do?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Here's the problem with that. Those computers are smarter when it comes to like thinking and like solving problems and stuff, but they struggle with like simple things like very, I don't know what.
Like they can't tie a fucking shoe or
yes, it's very simple like things that we have no problems with is what trips
So they're
the
not there
computers
yet.
up. Yeah.
So they say
they
that
will
they
be.
are, but they're not.
they will be. And
if they do, that's when we should all be scared.
yeah. Cuz it's over for us. Yeah. But no, I think man, I fucking saw this on some kind of documentary. They were talking about just the amount of information it takes for the brain to process moving through a crowd of people and then just navigating through a crowd of people and like predicting other people's movements and then still trying to get to your destination. They were like, actually what seems so simple to us, like what the fuck is the big deal of moving through a crowd of people? They were like, that's actually takes so much fucking information for you to fucking be able to move and process, even just walking through a crowd of people.
Dude, I feel like I thrive at that. Like that's
Moving through crowds of people.
That's something
what you've been gifted with, Trey.
No, that's something I feel like I do better than 95% of people on the planet. I'm dead serious. Like when I'm at Walmart and I'm like, I can go into Walmart in 5 minutes and be out of there, and I can literally predict people's movements. Like
precognitive.
Like
I have precognitive thought.
Yeah, like I know all the shortcuts. Like I just like even if it's a place I've never been, like I'll go down a dark alley or dark path if I have to get somewhere faster.
Trey is psychic. This is him coming out.
You guys know what I'm talking. You know
He's
what
the
I'm
first.
talking
Yeah.
about. Like,
Oh yeah.
Like if I have to get somewhere through a crowd of people faster than some no-name fuck, like I don't know, some guy named Joe, like easy.
No.
Well, when you think about it, like I was at a cider fest today, and there was probably 800 to 1,000 people there.
Is there good cider there?
It's Lewisburg cider. Like they're known for their cider and their donuts. They charge $8 a gallon for their cider.
Did you enjoy it?
I didn't try their cider. I got a cream soda. No, I did not enjoy it.
Wait! You went to Cider Fest, and you got.
Overrated.
I went there to enjoy.
You got to at least try the cider if you're at a Cider Fest.
I
man.
went there to enjoy the day with my daughter, so I could spend time with her.
That's fair.
My wife said, she's like, "Hey, you don't have to go," and I'm like, "No, I want to go. I want to be."
Oh, is that why you're talking about donuts this morning at like
Yeah.
2 in the morning?
Anyways, like you're talking about in a crowd, like there's 800 to 1,000 people there, and it's almost like music because we all work in unison at the same time. Like everyone's brain's doing the same thing. Like trying to navigate through a crowd. I mean, Trey's better at it than everyone, so he would have been.
Not everybody.
He should have went.
95%.
He should have went to the Cider Fest today. He would have been money.
Yeah.
He would have got donuts quicker than anyone.
Yeah.
And where I noticed this the most is at like Chiefs games, like leaving or like going in. Like I know the perfect path. Like, it's like
His clairvoyance is just.
yeah, it's like in Sherlock Holmes when Robert Downey Jr. is like thinking about how he's gonna combat and like take down the bad guys.
Yeah.
Like in his mind, like I do that with my path.
That was
like,
such a legit scene.
I think
in that movie.
the clearest way to look at it though is like whenever like you're getting real close to someone and your shoulder instantly moves without you even thinking about it because you know you're about to hit him.
It's like in Assassin's Creed when you're just walking and he never touches anybody. It's just like, you know what I'm talking about?
It's exactly like that.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
And my daughter, she's 13 months, so she's like, she wants to walk and she wants to do her thing, but it's like these people don't see you, so you can't be on the ground walking. You have to be in a stroller.
And think about how her mind isn't developed enough to be able to do something like that. Like how much it takes a developed mind to be able to process that kind of information.
She walks in their way and she just stands like she's in everyone's way.
Yeah.
And then she gets mad because
As
she can't
most
walk.
toddlers are.
Right.
Yeah.
It's true. So it does take your brain a little while to develop, obviously.
Yeah.
But that's just one instance, though, is the brain, which
That's
is
one of my favorite things. What we just.
it's the core, though.
Moving
right?
through crowds. Man, his dick gets real hard whenever he gets to talk about moving through crowds.
I love it.
What
Just
what
super
about
efficient.
What about the eyes, though? And that helps with moving through crowds.
Yeah, because I'm literally, my eyes are just, they're doing it on their own, though. Obviously, I'm not thinking about it, but they're literally just planning, like, what my body's going to do before you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're scoping out shit. They're like, let's go.
But isn't it's crazy? Like, do you think there'll ever be a TV that sees as clear as what we see right now?
A TV?
Yeah.
at some point the human eye can only pick up so much information, so it will max out. Eventually, you'll be able to. Are you talking about like resolution on a TV?
Yeah.
Yeah. So eventually, like this, they're already doing this with photography. So you can. My brother could explain this fucking way better than me, but they can take a picture now. That the camera itself is taking in more information the human eye could ever take in. And then it's reprojecting it in a way that the human eye can now see it. And that's why you see these super intense, vibrant photographs that you're just like, holy shit, man, this is amazing. Like, you get to see all these details. It's because literally the camera's picking up more than what your eye could as far as information goes. That's already been a thing.
The camera sees the world in a different way.
Yes, very much so. And it puts it in a format to where the human eye can then fucking see it through a still image.
I guess this is an obvious observation, is that we don't see the world for its true self.
No, never. That's always been a thing.
So
Aristotle, fucking Plato knew that.
Hold on. So if I'm sitting down at a campfire in Colorado and I'm looking at a mountain and I can clearly see everything, I have 20/20 vision. Let's say some people have 20/10 vision. There's a camera out there that can look at those mountains better than the human being.
Of course, because they can even zoom in. Like, you can. I've seen pictures where it's like zoomed in on some people, and then it zooms out so far from literally one picture taken from this camera, and you can't even see the house that the people were at anymore. Is how much information that camera's picking up.
No, I have that camera. It's a P900.
In fucking detail.
Yeah.
Like, it is better than the human eye. We have surpassed the human eye when it comes to picking up information.
Clearly, whenever it comes to zoom in or zoom out, of course, the camera's always going to win. But I'm saying if you take just a standard picture of what, like, let's say the camera's
Could you imagine if your eyes were that developed, though, to where you could literally just go outside and you could just off in the distance, you just knew.
Yeah.
Like, that's what hawks do. That's what eagles do.
That's true.
That's literally, their eye is so much more developed than ours. That's what they do. They're able to pick up so much information from their, in their iris.
The thing about cameras, though, it has to have a user. We don't need a user. We are the user.
That's true.
So, I mean, we're able to do 360 at any time. The camera needs us to do that.
That's true.
It's just crazy, though, like how we're able to see and just how, in my opinion, I truly do think that the human body is perfect. Like, I asked you that question at work a few days ago, and you said, of course, the human body has its flaws. But for where we are right now and how we've gotten to the point that we're at now, I think the human body is phenomenal.
What about a human body that no longer uses cartilage that wears down and can't regenerate on its own over time, that a human body was able to, a more advanced human body that had cartilage that was able to fucking regenerate itself. That way you didn't have, arthritis, like, later on in life, because that shit goes. There's all kinds of room for improvement, is what I was getting at.
What got that person to arthritis,
If you just, all you have to do is, you could live a perfectly healthy lifestyle, and then eventually you're going to end up dying of nothing, but you will still die. But, no, the human body just naturally wears down. Like, you could be super healthy. You're still, if you're up walking around, your cartilage is just slowly going in your knee. And eventually, that's why we have surgery and shit.
Any species is that way.
Yeah,
I understand that's what we are on this earth. I mean, we're not born to last forever.
Mm-hmm.
But for the time that we are here, and in the prime time that we are here, the body functions in a very unique way.
Yeah.
And it's just phenomenal. I mean,
No, it
some
is.
people call it intelligent design. I know we've hit a little bit on that, but
Mhm.
it wasn't to the extent of how perfect the human body is. 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 butt cheeks, 2 eyes, 2 nostril, or 2 holes in your nose. 2 ears.
Symmetrical.
Exactly.
Everything is symmetrical.
Right.
Yeah. It's weird just calling it perfect when, and it is, like we're a product of a very long time of shit fucking, developing to where, yeah, I mean, we're fucking...
How did double Ds eventually get developed? Like, why do women need breasts that big?
Like, genetically, or are you talking about,
I'm
like,
just
going and
saying in
getting
general.
surgery for
I'm
it?
saying if evolution is real, how did double Ds end up? Like,
What was the reason for
yeah,
it
like,
evolving into...
did she have like 10 kids at one time? Maybe like back in
Yeah,
the day,
maybe.
and she just had to have these massive tits to have like a
You
lot
think
of milk.
of you think of being able to support fucking human life from titties, like...
Dude, there are chicks that are flat chested that can support human life.
That's true too, but
It doesn't matter how big...
They're gonna produce milk.
Okay, is that really a thing? Do girls with bigger breasts produce more breast milk?
I have
No,
idea.
that's genetic as well. There are women that do produce a large amount of breast milk and
So
they sell it
So you could be like an A cup
and produce more than someone with a D.
with than a D.
I think so. I don't know the answer to that, but I'm pretty sure that's yeah. You could.
No idea.
I just feel as though for like space.
But what's the point?
Space
That's what I'm
reasoning,
saying.
though.
Like double D, is that the reason that there are double Ds? The amount of milk she had to produce?
Like, but that comes down to like what guys find it, and the same thing with what guys and girls find attractive in like the opposite sex, or even when it's the same sex kind of thing, really comes from a primal like reproductive standpoint. Like why guys like girls with big hips is because that's really for like birthing, or even like that ass is like third trimester brain development kind of shit. Like literally, it's directly connected to that, and then like breast, you think of fucking being able to feed your infant child if you were like subconsciously kind of shit. That's where all that shit stems from. Like girls like tall athletic guys, well that's probably from some primal sense of, man, this guy's gonna be able to protect me if fucking tiger fucking hops out of some shit. That's not what she's actually thinking, but like that's the deep subconscious thing that people have been breeding off of for thousands of years. Like,
which is another impressive thing
Sounds
from the
about
human
right.
body.
yeah.
That even this far along into advancing, that subconsciously it's still in the back of our minds and we don't even know it. Like it's still embedded in us and we don't even know it. It's like, surviving, obviously.
We are systematic. Like we have our boundaries and shit like that. Like we can only do so much as, like oh man, I want to be careful with that too, but yeah.
So Jesse thinks that the human body isn't perfect. I think it's pretty near close to perfect for where we are on Earth and how we are here.
It's pretty fucking good.
Perfect is a really
that's
difficult word to describe anything.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at too. To say, because obviously whenever you can find flaws in something, you can't really call it perfect. I mean, we're pretty fucking good though. Like we're able to sit and have a conversation. We probably are going to have a functional life for a very long time, and it's a good vessel to experience,
When
like
I think of perfect, I think of
get drunk and listen to Lil Wayne's new album and shit. You can do that in this body. Like this is fucking, it's pretty legit. So yeah.
when I think of the word perfect, I think of zero flaws whatsoever, like zero, handicaps in any nature of physically, mentally, whatever it might be. You know what I think of when I think of perfect? I think of Dragon Ball Z. Cell, 100% perfect.
Yeah.
So let's say
He wasn't.
Let's say someone lives a life, and there has to be someone out there who has lived a life where they were barely ever sick.
Doesn't matter. Barely's not perfect.
Let's say they got sick once, and then they lived to be 100 years old after they were an adult.
Yeah, it depends on what your scale is on.
But I'm saying that's pretty damn near perfect.
Yeah, damn near perfect, but not perfect.
Yeah. Okay. The human body's crazy, man. The way the heart pumps, the way your joints move, the way your lungs work, your liver, your kidneys.
What's crazier is the fact that humans were able to study other people's bodies and understand how our inner workings work and stuff. Like, that's what's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the beginning stages of that had to have been fucking freaky.
There's
or
actually
morbid.
A TV show called The Nick that was on Showtime, and this guy, it was like early, like 1600s maybe surgeries that were taking place. Like, anesthesia was not even really a thing. Like, people are being worked on, like, awake. Shit was crazy.
Yeah, medicine is advanced. That's one thing. Be very thankful that we live in a day and age where modern medicine is where it's at, because you only scroll back like 100 years, 150 years. Shit was bleak, man. And it's brutal.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Imagine they probably like tried out some trippy shit too. Imagine it's like they put someone on some mushrooms and they're like, "Yeah, dude, I'm gonna perform heart surgery on you because you feel." Maybe let's say they did do that. Like that would be intense. Just tripping mushrooms and they're just doing some surgery.
Because they're trying to see, hey, is this a good way to put somebody under? Oh God,
yeah.
you're the
trial and error.
Fuck that.
Oh, this
super fuck that.
This was a question I had. I think it was like, should human experimentation be like a thing if it we're able to solve cancer and things like that? You know what I mean?
Like, should there be boundaries for that?
Or should it be okay if somebody's willing to basically sacrifice themselves for the good of all humanity to be experimented on?
I feel like they do that every day with just the amount of drug. Like you listen to a commercial like, hey, if you take this for you have chronic heart disease, and or high blood pressure, and you're like, it's what is it, like Humana or whatever.
Yeah, they do that shit all the time.
And
We need a
then-
healthy 18 to 45-year-old male, non-smoking male to come five nights, fucking whatever.
They'll pay you $900.
Yeah.
Zach, or not Zach.
Well,
Zach would do some shit like that, by the way.
with the drugs that, what I'm saying is the drugs that they already have out, and then they list off the side effects, and it sounds like you could probably die if you take this drug if your doctor
Oh, I'm
doesn't
sure
say
you
you
signed some
can't.
waivers.
No, I'm saying like the shit for like diabetes or like the commercials they have, and they say, hey, take this whatever pill it is, and it's going to help you with your heart or whatever, and then they
Well-
lift off the side effects, like that's risking your life, and it's
And-
already been approved by the FDA at that point.
But they have to. The way that they have to do it through the scientific method is that they have to give half those people placebo, and then that's the only way to get a comparison study. So like half those people aren't even like they'll still sign the waivers and everything's the same, but they're really not even risking their life because they're getting a sugar pill basically in compared to. So it's really only half those people. I don't even know why I'm bringing that up because it really doesn't change anything. But
also, wouldn't blood type be a factor in that also?
Because different blood types react to drugs differently. Yeah. Maybe.
I mean, but you're just talking about like genetics in general. Then everybody's going to react differently.
True.
They're just trying to find a common trend though.
Yeah.
Which is also why it takes so long for shit to get patented and figured out.
True.
All right. Well, yeah, the body, in my opinion, is perfect. Jesse says no. Trey says no as well.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I could have a bigger dick, man. Like, like shit. You really want to get down to some shit?
Yeah. And that's the thing. And I was thinking that earlier when we were talking about bigger breast. Is that's another thing as well. Like, where in evolution did guys get smaller penises and larger penises? Why
It's
does
just all
that even?
genetics.
No, I mean, if you believe in evolution, for some reason dicks got bigger. They got bigger for some reason. What's the reason?
Well, there's a reason why there's a whole range of fucking dick size because people with a whole range of dick size have been fucking having sex throughout time, and it's not like if guys like let's just say that if only guys with fucking big dicks got laid, chances are everybody would have fucking big dicks, right? Genetically, like there'd just be a thing because guys with fucking that don't have fucking big dicks still fucking get some every now and again because they got great personalities.
I just feel like evolution should be able to explain why dicks are bigger and smaller and boobs are bigger and smaller. That's
No, you're right. Solve that shit,
Yeah.
man. That's
Darwin,
on the forefront
please.
for me.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Elon.
Please let us know.
Elon, fuck your electric car, bro. Figure out the dick situation, man.
I'm sure there's definitely studies that have been done.
There's no way to really know.
I think what I said would probably be fairly accurate is the fact that genetically why there's this different range of fucking penis size is because
Same reason
People
there's
been
different sized people.
yeah,
same-
it's like nobody genetically they're still breeding and shit and still passing on their genetics.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is genetically we all started from the first few hundred people, so or first
Okay, that's
10 or
that's really
5
debatable.
or what,
That's
no, so is everything that we
the
know
absolute origin
Yeah.
of humanity is still kind of
up in the air.
yeah. There is no you can't be like this is set in stone as far as the actual
Right.
origin.
So there's
of
no way to
humanity.
say it's genetics is the reason why our dicks are our boobs are smaller or
But,
bigger.
but you can say that over like the past maybe 1,000 years, not the origin of humanity or anything like that. Let's
I
just
think you could say over the
look
past 100 years, but
even that.
even if you go back 1,000 years, there's still a 9,000 year gap.
Is there somebody
that you
who's
had
been
no idea what you're talking
documenting
about.
average dick size over the past century? I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's somebody at some university has dedicated a lot of time to this.
Maybe Howard Stern or what's his name from
Does he still do anything? Howard Stern?
satellite radio?
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
No shit. We need to
Daily.
get him on one night.
Yeah. That'd be great. Howard Stern.
Howard Stern.
That would be dope.
I never watched his movie either. I don't know
a
too
good
much about
movie.
Howard Stern. I
What
know my
movie?
parents hated him. That's all I know.
One of the first movies I saw tits on.
What movie was it?
Howard Stern.
That's
It
what it's
just-
called?
He's in his own movie. No, it's called. I forget what it's called, but he plays himself in the movie. It's really good.
I remember the
So does
cover of
Robin.
it is him naked, like a giant, like naked in New York City in a building's like covering up as Johnson. That's all I remember from it. I couldn't tell you the name.
I know that infographic.
Hey, I learned a new word today, guys. Infographic.
That's not what that is. It's just a movie cover, I guess.
I'm glad you told me that because I would have been using it quite a bit. You know how I am about new words, man.
It's
I get excited
called-
about them. I use them a lot.
Writer No. I don't know what the movie's called. Maybe it's him as himself. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's just called Howard Stern. It's a possibility.
Any idea when it came out?
Early 2000s
Early 2000.
or late 1990s.
Hmm.
Either way, it's a good movie. It truly is. It's like Joe Dirt, but way better because it's
Okay.
Howard Stern.
I see something here called Howard Stern's Butt Bongo Fiesta.
It's definitely not called that. Maybe it is.
Oh, here it is. It's called Private Parts.
Yes.
Yeah, there it is.
Yes.
There it is. Yeah.
Watch it. It's good. It really is.
I remember seeing that at Blockbuster when I was a kid. Like,
Dude, yeah, no, that's where I saw it too. My parents would be like, "Get out of that aisle."
it says coming for spring. Yeah, that's cool. Never before has a man done so much with so little. It's true.
So what's up with this new? Why is America getting to the point now where people are accusing people of sexual assault like 20 years later in life because now they have status?
Because they can get money from it.
Oh, I don't think it's so much that, man. It
Has
This
to
is
be
such
though,
a-
right?
This is tough to
It
get.
has to be.
this is a rough one to get
But-
into, Paul.
So like since so now you're gonna get a Supreme Court justice seat, and then you're just now they have two girls, another girl coming
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
It's like, come on, like really?
I have 3 theories on why all this stuff is happening right now. The first theory is whoever decided to come out against who's the movie guy, Weinstein.
Yeah, Harvey Weinstein.
Somebody decided, oh, I did a lot of bad things to get further in Hollywood and places, and now I feel bad about doing that and feel shame for doing that to get into higher places, and maybe I can get this guy in trouble, so I'm going to do it. So that happened. Somebody got in trouble for it, so then that just opened a can of worms, and everybody's like, oh, something happened to me 37 years ago. Maybe I can get somebody in trouble for it or make myself feel better.
Do you think Harvey Weinstein was the origin, or was it Bill Cosby? I feel like Bill Cosby was actually the origin for all of it started.
I don't know. Maybe.
Started with Tiger Woods with him cheating on his wife, and then it just went downhill from there.
Okay.
What?
Anyways.
What?
Second theory.
That's where it started.
Yeah. No.
Second theory, money is definitely a thing. So I think there's definitely a lot of people who are being falsely accused, or things where both people were equally at odds. But obviously, the man's always going to be the one that gets in trouble. Who said? She said. Whatever. Third theory is fame, publicity, whatever it is.
This is what's difficult for me, and I don't know which theory that this fits into. But you have there are a bunch of, and I'll pretty much, I'm gonna say some shit and I'm gonna ask the question about it because this is a very difficult fucking thing for me to even answer and come up with a
Hold
good
on.
solid thing.
And my fourth theory is that like it actually happened and it was very detrimental to their life and like it's fucked up that shit happened and it's real.
So hold on. Let's just say really quick. Is it a possibility that all of a sudden they see these women come out and they're able to be open about this horrible experience that happened, and then it empowers them to be like, okay, I'm actually able to come out and say this shit too.
Yeah, they think they have a voice now.
Yeah. Which is perfectly fine. But there's also probably some things that aren't in there that aren't that are misconstrued too that are done for the wrong reason. More like, like if you purposely flirted with a movie producer to fucking and you used you used some shit to fucking move up in the ladder, and then if you come out and say that I was
later on that you were a victim, that's
that
not
you were
fair.
a victim. Yeah, no, that's not fair. If you were instigating it, or if it was like a mutual consensual thing, but it was to your benefit in the end, and now you're attacking that guy.
Yeah.
That's not good either.
But a lot of people would argue that it doesn't matter. Like they were brainwashed. They were, you know what I mean? There's like
There's a time and a place for everything, and if you were ever to be assaulted in a way to where 20 years down the road you want to finally come out and say it, you should have said it 20 years ago. No matter what, like what does it mean 20 years later?
and
come
how,
out.
and how do you have proof? That's what I don't get. How are these people getting in trouble with zero proof or evidence? Like the judge right now, there's literally zero proof whatsoever, except for the fact that she
Hearsay.
said that it happened.
Yeah,
That's it.
That's it.
And I didn't think that's how our judicial system worked, but apparently I was wrong.
If she never had a voice and she felt like she never had a voice and she couldn't come out 20 years ago and say, hey, like this happened, like I was violated, I do not feel okay about this. At what point at that time did she feel like she couldn't tell anyone.
There's a definite possibility that on a societal level that if she would have said some shit, she wouldn't have been taken seriously, and somebody would have been like, this guy's fucking too powerful. You're not, there's no way.
He's more powerful now than he's ever been.
Yeah, but I'm not, you got to recognize that as a possibility too throughout the whole thing. This is my thing. There's all kinds of stories that I see on Imager of one in particular of a high school quarterback who was like this great high school quarterback, was gonna get, fucking scholarship, all this, slept with a girl. She claimed that he raped her. He spent the next 10 years fighting it to eventually get it called off, and that she just lied about the whole thing. And it showed her in court, just whatever, who cares about this guy? He didn't rape me. But it literally ruined this whole fucking guy's life.
Oh yeah, 10 years of it.
And no, his high school, he was gonna go to he lost scholarships. He couldn't
True.
This is very much on one heavy end of the spectrum where the dude is getting completely fucked. If you would have saw this dude in court, he's in tears and shit, just it's finally fucking over. Did fucking time and shit, for a false rape accusation.
I've seen that, yeah.
So now the debate comes around, and this is what I was going to initially try to ask the question of. Should women that falsely accuse guys of rape get in trouble for it?
Yes.
Fuck yes.
100%.
Now, this is a gray area for me. I don't think that's such an easy yes to answer, strictly because what about women that do get raped, and then they go to court because we have a flawed court system that all of a sudden she's proved, even though she was raped, somehow throughout the judicial process, wasn't, is now getting in trouble for really trying to speak her mind and shit, and then all of a sudden it's limiting girls from, who get in trouble like that and go, oh, well, it's not worth it if it all of a sudden, if the court case just comes out that I'm a liar, and now I'm all of a sudden, I got raped,
okay,
I'm going to go to court, and then I'm going to fucking go to prison because they're going to label me as a liar because of it, even though it was in her favor too.
That's fine.
Don't get me wrong. I don't have a yes or no for this.
No,
one.
I
This is a
understand.
big gray area
That's
for me.
fine, but that's the same for any crime that is committed. There's people that are wrongfully accused
So
all
maybe
the time.
maybe in the sense to where this asshole fucking girl that framed this guy for fucking rape took advantage of and pretty much ruined his entire life, any chance of a fucking football career. Yeah, she should probably. Some shit should probably happen to her, right?
If it's clear cut and she literally admits to it.
Yeah,
then yes.
it's just our justice system is very difficult. So to actually have laws in place is, man, I don't know. This is a real big
It's
gray
hard.
area
Yeah,
for
it's
me.
hard.
It's a big gray area.
There's a 49ers linebacker, Reuben Foster, I think, and he was falsely accused for abusing a girlfriend or something, and she came out and said, yeah, I lied. I made the entire thing up. But then there's all these crazy people, or not crazy, but there's always these theories of well, they probably just paid her off and she just said that just to,
That's
what I mean?
a possibility too, man.
Yeah.
It's
when
it's
money's
crazy,
involved
man.
and women, and if they, and that's the more fucked up part about it. If there's money involved and it actually did happen and they take the money and hush about it, that's even more fucked up.
And then come back and then come out later and be like, oh yeah, I did this, but I took the money.
Well, she loses all that money because.
But now I feel bad about it. You know what I mean?
But they can't say that. If you take the money, then you're contractually obligated not to fucking say
I
anything
know that,
else
but
about
there
it.
has to be somebody that's been paid off and that's come out later on and said, oh, someone said, Stormy Daniels.
Yeah.
Right? Didn't she
Yeah.
get paid,
She got
supposedly?
Paid a lot of money, yeah.
And she still came out and said, I slept with Trump and all this stuff, right? Or am I making that up or am I wrong?
No, they definitely had sex.
Yeah.
Unprotected
Which
sex.
I don't know why that's an issue, but
Yeah, Trump's just, it was during a presidential campaign and he funded money, whatever. Who knows?
yeah.
Oh, it was during the campaign that he.
I think so.
No, this was a long time
Yeah,
ago.
it was a long time ago. You're right. Either way, if a woman takes money just because she knows the money's there, it's a smart move, but at the same time, it's the wrong move.
Yeah.
You were violated. It's going to affect you the rest of your life because it fucks with people's heads and it changes who you are as a person.
And I by no means want anybody to ever suffer. So if things did happen to them, I'm 100% okay with them coming out. You know what I mean? Even if it is later and they were so mentally abused by something that for whatever reason.
Even Terry Crews, right?
Yeah.
This happens to guys too. Even Terry Crews, some fucking asshole just grabbing his shit. That's
yeah. But I
can't
don't
be doing that shit.
I don't believe that all of a sudden that this is just all of a sudden just happened. You know what I mean? Just out of the blue. There's got to be some
You know what I think
on
is
this stage, yeah.
You know what I think is hilarious though is just like some irony. So like you scroll back to like the early 2000s, you had Jimmy Kimmel, who was like, "Hey, I'm Jimmy Kimmel. This is the Man Show. Here's some girls jumping on trampolines." And then you catch him like, what was it, last year, and he's literally giving a speech on sexual abuse and not you know.
Yeah. He's
and not like
he's so full of it,
like
dude.
come on, dude. You hosted the fucking Man
Man
Show.
Show.
Like come on, man. Like you thought everybody just forgot about all
Well,
that shit
okay.
about what's the word I'm looking for whenever you not god damn it. I'm trying to think of the word used that you're putting women you were doing this to women. Like you were you know, just for like sexual
Belittling?
shit.
Innuendo.
No, not innuendo. Fuck.
I just learned that word earlier, so
It's not innuendo.
Didn't learn it,
when
but
you're being like misogynistic
Misogynistic,
and
yeah.
and you're just like strictly just like eye candy and shit. And it's that's inappropriate kind of thing. There's a fucking word for it. I feel like a dumbass. I can't think of it. But Jimmy Kimmel literally had a whole show that was based around that.
Yeah, and his
then for
buddy
him to
was
come
crazy.
out and then be like, man, Hollywood's doing this anyway.
This
I
is
just want to bring that up
Late
real
night
quick.
show, which I mean, he's getting paid.
Yeah, this is my biggest issue.
No, everything's changed.
This is my biggest issue of this entire thing happening. And like I said, I don't know the correct way to solve this, but Matt Damon, who was supposed to have a cameo in the new Ocean's movie with all the women,
Yeah.
he filmed a scene, and he was cut from the scene because he made a comment about Harvey Weinstein, and all he said was, "Yeah, I was friends with Harvey Weinstein for a lot of years. I don't agree with anything he did." And they cut his scene because he was friends with the guy. You know what I mean? So Matt Damon is being punished for being friends with somebody.
That's
basically
ridiculous.
That's just and then people are out there saying that Matt Damon doesn't care about women, all this stuff, like making up a bunch of stuff about him, like slander.
That's the far left. That's far left, like the propaganda, to where if you don't agree with us, you're an evil fucking piece of shit, and we don't that's because
It's
if
just
you don't have our
ridiculous.
morality, then you have everything wrong, kind of thing. And
You
if
can't be friends with
even
somebody.
if it's anything close
Yeah,
to
So have
to
they
partially disagreeing with
have
them.
they ruled anything on this?
he's
On-
about to get. He's supposedly about to get in a lot of trouble, but
So
not yet.
Kavanaugh, he is going to get in trouble?
No. I thought you were talking about Weinstein.
No, yeah.
No, Kevin. No, there's nothing.
Yeah. So he's going to be Supreme Court Justice.
Yeah,
Rightfully so.
I was watching somebody had CNN on the other morning, and I was watching this lady. I don't know what her name is, and it was on CNN, obviously, so it's very left opinion wise, and she was like smiling and laughing with the people who are interviewing her stuff. It was really weird, and like the hosts of CNN were like, hashtag believe women. Like, isn't that so? I don't even know what the word is, but for you to, a bunch of actors have been posting this, like hashtag believe women. So if a woman says something, just believe them, no matter what it is, believe women.
So what that opens up a lot of opportunity for that to be taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Within itself.
Yeah, totally.
Any good thing can eventually, because don't get me wrong, that's if women are being sexually abused and by people of power and they can just get away with it, that's awful. But then you see a transition of the fight back, but now there's opportunity for people to take advantage of that system too. There can be evil anyway.
I just hate the
but-
fact that it's like, just believe women no matter what. Like, believe women no matter what. And all guys are just douchebags, and
That's definitely what they're trying to.
You get
CNN is
what
trying
I'm
to-
saying?
Yeah, they're
It's
trying to
there's
label
a Hollywood is very vocally feminist. Like,
but it's
very
ridiculous.
vocally
But you
feminist.
have guys like Brad Pitt and who've been married and cheated on multiple women and stuff. Who Brad Pitt could probably do whatever he wanted and nobody would probably care. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was watching and I watched a little bit of the proceedings that they had with this woman that is claiming that this happened, and there was actually a woman that was asking her the questions. It was on C-SPAN or whatever, and they were trying to just like I forget what you call her, but maybe she was like some sort of senator or something that's within the Congress. She was trying to paint a picture of how this chick is a liar because the chick that's accusing, I don't know how to say his name, Kavanaugh or whatever.
Kavanaugh.
Yeah, that she's a liar because she tries to claim that she hates flying. Like she's deathly scared of flying. And literally this video is like for 5 minutes of just all the times that this chick's flied in the past like 5 years. Whether it be to like Hawaii or Alaska, or she flew over to see her family and she does it once a year. But she came out and she like legitimately said that she's deathly scared of flying. So Congress painted a picture while they were questioning her that obviously that's false. Like you fly all the fucking time. You're lying about this. So what makes us think that you wouldn't lie about what you're talking about right now?
I gotta be honest. I don't know shit about what you guys are talking about with this guy. I do not follow fucking politics like at all. Just give me in 45 seconds. Explain to me, and probably for
Trump nominated a Supreme Court judge to be a judge, and this lady says that something happened when like 30 years ago.
20, I think.
anything specific.
Something sexual, and I don't know the specifics on that.
I don't either.
And so they don't want him to be elected to be a judge or whatever the process is.
No, that's. I mean, you got to talk about, man. That's some convenient fucking timing. Like right when this guy is trying to become a judge, and if you're liberal and you're not wanting him to get in, and you're digging up dirt, where can we fucking hit this guy where it hurts? Mm-hmm. You come across a little fucking gym because this is a hot fucking thing right now.
But nobody else
in
Congress has done anything of the same nature whatsoever.
Right. Yeah.
None of the other 435 House
All
of Representatives have ever done anything of the same nature.
Of sketchy fucking sketchiness.
And this happening brings up the fact that people are like, so why is this guy getting this this process, but Trump isn't going through this process for saying that he grabs
pussy?
Yeah. Which
grab him by the pussy.
Well, are you not allowed to say words now? Like, just because you have a job, you're not allowed to say specific words?
He wasn't even president at the time, nor was he even trying to run for president.
Right. What does that have to do with anything?
And not only that, he didn't even know he was being recorded.
Right. So so somebody should be in trouble for, I don't know.
Oh, that doesn't matter, man. Like, oh, yeah.
I know. That's a loophole that, I don't know. I just don't get it. Like, how can you not say words? Like, you can say whatever you want. Isn't that part of being American? You can say any word.
I think we're starting to realize that that's not the case.
No, it's definitely not the case anymore.
And this is the thing. So there's freedom of speech, but there's also consequence of speech too. You should be able to say whatever you want, but there's a consequence to everything you say, because that's you could talk about grabbing them by the pussy. There's going to be, if people fucking hear that, and whenever you're running for public office, do not.
It's locker room talk, dog.
Yeah, that's what fucking Fox News says. But also at the same time, do you want a president that, because that seems like a very immature, like even like
Jesse,
19, 20-year-old shit. Yeah, I would say some shit like that. But guess what? I'm not fit to run for president though.
And you know what? And let's say that you are, and you're 70 years old, and you say that, and you don't know you're being recorded, and they record you saying that. You don't know fucking.
I mean,
that,
yes,
man.
Everybody says some shit. Everybody says inappropriate shit. Nobody's nobody's perfect.
Person,
nobody's fucking perfect. I'm agreeing with that.
Like, what kind of qualities would you look for in a president if you had the choice? Would you rather have somebody that's just by the books and appeases everybody, or would you rather have somebody that grabs life by the balls and is just like this?
I don't want you to think that I'm hating so much, because I know it sounds like I'm hating super a lot, like a bunch right now. Freedom of speech, yes, is a thing, but everything that you say, especially in this day and age, is going to be fucking pieced together. Now they have so much recording, the technology is so prevalent. Like if ever we were doing anything like 20 years from now, they'd probably pull up one of our first podcasts where we could have a completely different opinion, 20 years from now, but they're going to be like, this is what he thinks, kind of thing. Like you have to be, and there's no way around that. He was just being himself, he was just being himself and shit like that. But there's consequence for fucking saying some shit like that whenever you go to run for presidency, and that's not something you want to hear a president fucking be talking about, because because you're just like, man, that seems kind of immature, to me. Like, say that kind of shit.
No,
that's fine.
I get it.
I
get what you're saying.
I could be saying, I'll make fucking dick and fucking pussy jokes all the fucking time. I don't give two fucks.
Well, I know
but it's just not something. I think what we want is a stern leader, and not to be, saying immature stuff like that,
right,
and a little bit more respectful
than
that at the same
But
at the same time.
Who decided what the term presidential means? Because I guarantee you that George Washington wasn't like Mr. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I will respect you in every way that I can. No, George Washington probably gave zero shits about anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Dictator.
why is it such a different thing now? Just because we had Barack Obama in office for 8 years, and people were so used to his bullshit, probably mostly stolen speeches from whoever wrote his speech. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just.
I think there's supposed to be because that's not. First of all, that's not a very gentleman-like thing to say. Yes, you can fucking say it, and I understand he was in a weird, obviously not expecting to be recorded, and he's just around fucking guys, what you call locker room talk and stuff like that. But what people immediately think is that, man, you want a gentleman to be president. You want
Why?
That's what I would want. I would want a respectful, and I understand he wasn't fucking like being recorded because I fucking said fucking shit like that too. Like whenever it's just the guys, like I fucking get that. I understand like that was a bad scenario for him. I'm not saying I haven't fucking said shit.
So there's no gentleman out there, Jesse. There's no gentleman ever.
Fuck.
No matter what you think or what you.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no gentleman.
Just Obama.
Let's establish this. So
Only Obama.
So all guys have fucking dirty fucking humorous minds, and
Of course.
And it's just good timing for all the presidents that, just the recording devices fucking weren't there for the older generation fucking presidents that we look up to.
Yeah,
because they were probably saying the same shit.
I guarantee
that we were.
Bill Clinton never said anything of the sorts.
Oh, God.
Never.
I would love to get drunk with Bill Clinton, man. I would love to get drunk with
Did
Bill
you
Clinton.
see that video of whenever Ariana Grande or whatever?
Yes.
He just
I did see that.
looking her up and down. Then you had the pastor clearly grabbed her tit, which was absolutely uncalled for, and he denied it. But whatever.
But nobody cares because he's just some random dude.
Yeah, that's what pastors do, by the way. Pastors are real fucking touchy-feely.
Let's not even get into that.
You know that Obama came out with a speech, and he's getting ready for the primaries or whatever for senators and shit. He came out and he's trying to campaign and stuff. He literally they recorded how many times he said I, me, my in a speech, and it was like astronomical.
Oh, I know.
How much he talks about himself.
I actually just listened to this podcast, and this guy named John Favreau, not the director, but a different guy. He wrote speeches for Obama, and I don't get how a president can give speeches who were written by somebody else and claim them as his own. It just baffles me. So people are so blind to that. They think that Obama just comes up with all the stuff on his own.
Not a
No,
chance.
somebody writes literally all the president's speeches. Maybe not Trump's because he just says whatever he feels like.
But you can tell when he's reading it.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And it's just, I just don't get it. Like, people are they just want to believe what they want to believe, I guess. I don't know. It's just goofy.
Something happened, and I know we've talked about a lot of this, but the far left it's gone way too far. It's almost to the point where it's ridiculous, in my opinion. Wouldn't you agree that it's ridiculous? I mean, especially for what we base ourselves on as a free country and freedom of speech and free. I mean, like all this stuff and like I don't know. I think so. I think it's just ridiculous.
And I've talked about this on a previous podcast. To see something I defended so much whenever I was growing up. And to see, I was like, man, these morals are spot on. I was like, this is, like, morally, this is where the country needs to be going. Like, separation of church and state, I was fucking huge on. Gay marriage, I was fucking huge on. Those were huge for me. That came from the liberal side. Even the legalization of marijuana was coming from the liberal side. I was like, man, these are morals. I was like, man, this is the future. This is where we needed to be headed kind of thing. And to see some of those kind of get warped to where now you get to see almost good start to become corrupted too, and freedom is being lost and stuff like that. So it's weird. It's difficult right now.
Josh Hawley running for whatever. He's not corrupt. He doesn't know big business. He doesn't have any money in politics. Like, no, that's false.
I saw this fucking meme the other day, and it said, politicians should wear NASCAR jackets to show which companies have bought them out.
Yes, 100%.
And it literally like photoshopped.
No more suits.
Yeah, no more suits. You get a NASCAR jacket, and everybody that's fucking bought you get a patch. You get a patch for it. I'm all for it, man.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Like fuck yes.
Because what would it matter? No one really cares anyways. No one legitimately cares.
Everybody knows.
Yeah,
everybody fucking knows you're getting bought out.
And if they don't know, even if they
I talked about this with Johnny today. I was like, how many more times are we going to have vote in a representative, and then they're say that they're going to do this, and then they don't do any of that, and then they do some other shit, and you're like, really?
And then like 8 years,
you don't get in trouble for that?
yeah,
like
8 years later, they're doing a senator commercial in Missouri saying how much money they've received from big business.
yeah, it happens all the fucking everywhere, all the fucking time.
What is this?
It's
shit
a
on,
joke.
What is
man.
this shit on YouTube that is trying to register you to vote? You seen that shit? Like you're watching videos and it says, "Have you registered to vote?"
No, you just need to contact your local representative.
Johnny, okay, I was talking to Johnny about some political shit, and I'm so glad he moved in because all we have is fucking stimulating conversation, pretty much. Shout out to Johnny if he listens to this. I doubt that he will,
But he should.
but yeah, he should. I'm just like,
and also he owes
yeah.
me $20 for fantasy.
I do.
Oh,
too.
he actually has brought that up a shit ton of times, and I'll make sure that you get the money because it'll probably end up going back
Especially
in my pocket
now
because my
that
team is
he-
fucking
yeah.
stacked in that league. But but where was I getting at? He brought up a really good point. Why the fuck are we going off electoral college? And he said it in a very different way. Like, why aren't we just going off popular votes? He was like, we have technology now to where every vote should count, and it shouldn't come down to man, he could say it a lot better than me because we literally were having the conversation like 45 minutes before I came over here. But he was like, it's stupid we have the electoral college. Like why isn't it just going off majority vote and like I almost want to say he was talking about almost a smaller government sense. I don't want to fucking make it seem like these were his exact opinions, but I agreed with him. Like, why the fuck isn't it just a majority fucking vote?
I don't. It's been explained to me several different ways. I don't know because like places like Los Angeles have so much more people than anybody else, but their electoral vote is so much more. So I feel like it would be about the same.
So,
But it's been different before.
But think about it
It's
like
been
this.
different. The majority vote's been different from
Not-
the actual winner.
Not everyone votes though. That's the thing. So if you have large populations like California, New York, Texas, and stuff like that, and let's say they all collaborate and they get together and say, "Hey, let's vote for this person." They'll win based off those 3 or 4 states because they have most of the majority of the vote. So then at that point, not everyone's vote counts.
Oh yeah, so like say like Montana, like say only like 40% of them went out to vote. It needs to, whatever the majority of that 40% is, needs to count for something.
But this is what he was bringing up. Is it can be made so easy to vote because of technology now. Why do you need that?
Of course.
Why do you need that?
No, voting. They should allow you to do it.
So yeah, like literally, you just fucking log on to some shit on a secure fucking website. You get
as easy as it is. But that's true. They should have like a United States like .gov website where you put in your social security.
Super secure.
Yeah, super secure. But at the same time,
somebody'd hack it.
exactly like the Federal
Some
Reserve.
13-year-old fucking
Playing Fortnite.
yeah, playing Fortnite
Actually, he was on
his
break.
spare time.
He was on a break.
Decided
from
who the
Fortnite
fuck
for like
president
10
the president
minutes
would
and
be.
decided to create some algorithms.
But everything's transferred online anyway. I guarantee you, whenever they take numbers, they probably put it on an online fucking thing somewhere for the information to get transferred. Everything's online. Yeah, everything's online.
That was one of my. I was gonna bring that up. It's like, should all of our information be in the cloud circulating the internet? Like,
it's too late, man.
No one would
It's-
need a hard drive at that point.
it's too
I'd
late.
Be down
I
with
know.
that.
Like even government stuff is on. It's still hackable.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, we're
unless
there.
unless
we're there.
they
It's
just
too late.
write everything on paper, which I doubt they do. I don't know.
I don't. We do have the technology, but I think it could be definitely corrupt, and we're not ready for everyone to vote online because I think you'd have a lot of illegal immigrants voting online and all that stuff, and we're just not ready for that.
What if you just had some shit to where you voted people in to come up with really good ideas to make society better, and then they came up with an idea, and then they fucking threw it up on some shit like every 3 months to be fucking, or every 6 months to be voted on, and then all the population got to see like a really general fucking issue, and then you just took a fucking majority vote.
We should do some
everybody.
shit like that. We should
Like
We
simplify
should.
it. Is
Yeah.
that simplifying it, or
But
is that
so
complicating?
There's so many dumb
Bro,
people out there, man. There's a
When
lot
that
of dumb
stuff
people.
when that stuff starts happening, then you have like mob culture starting to happen again, more than just the general mob that's already out there. Like,
Dude, our
shit's
U.S.
gonna be-
government
So the
is
system
mob as
needs
hell.
Well, I know that.
complicated.
I
It's
know
almost
that.
like the
I know that, but I'm just saying. Then you have all of these factions being created. It would just make things worse. I think.
How about making voting for the president or just voting in general when it comes to your state representatives and president mandatory?
That
no.
Yes.
No, because that's a freedom whether or not you decide to vote. Because
Once
if
you turn
if
18,
decide-
why is it?
I thought my speech
don't-
was
you don't-
freedom too, but I guess not.
Yeah. Why not make it mandatory to vote?
Because
it's your civic duty.
Yes, exactly.
But if both motherfuckers are shit, you should have the right not to vote at all.
And
If everybody's if everybody's shit,
you can still vote nay. You can still vote nay. And just
but you just literally say you vote. Everyone's a piece of shit.
That's fine.
That's what I vote for.
That's fine.
Like,
but you have to vote. I mean,
I like that.
Yeah.
But the only
You shouldn't be fined or anything like that.
No.
No.
Just mandatory. You have to vote. Whatever the fuck you put on it. And odds are people are actually going to vote. But you will have people who do stupid shit and just put like "fuck you" or whatever,
Brett
or
Favre,
just eat my ass.
Shane
Brett
Falco.
Favre. Yeah. But just make
I wonder
it
how
mandatory.
much out of Michigan he like percentage.
Oh yeah, I bet Brett Favre
Yeah.
probably has a lot of votes.
He's had
over
some
the years.
write-ins. He's had some write-ins in
Tom
Michigan.
Brady for sure.
Oh my God, on the East Coast. Yeah.
I read something that the new theory for why Trump became president is because transportation was an issue to get to. That's the new bullshit going around. Transportation was an issue for people to go vote. That's the reason they said they didn't vote is because they didn't have transportation.
That's ridiculous.
That's a
ridiculous.
new theory circulating. And when I say theory, a bullshit story created by some lowlife that has nothing better to do.
I really hope this last election was the worst that we are gonna have to see between the two people that we get to decide from. I really do.
And I disagree because the economy's been very well since Trump's been in office. He's actually building the wall like he said he would build. He's doing a lot. He's different from every president in the fact that he's actually doing what he said he was going to do.
He's a poor, and I understand he's just, and this is a shout out to Johnny too, because this is a little bit of his sports too, but he's just the face, really. There's so many other.
He's more than.
There's so many other facets.
He's more than a face
to that. But he looks bad with like foreign policy and shit. Like other countries are like Donald Trump. Like really, like it looks bad.
He's increased military budget. He's increased stronger.
Are you really telling me? Are you really telling me that there isn't anybody better than fucking Donald Trump that could have come out of the Republican Party or somewhere out of there that could have done the job?
Let's look at the last 3 presidents, or the last 4, or the last 5 presidents, and tell me that Trump isn't better than all 5 of those motherfuckers. Obama, George Bush Jr.,
2/5 of those
Bill
were
Clinton.
Bush.
Yeah, my life's over, by the way. That's my memory. That's my memory.
If you
right
go
there.
off the past 30 years, then he's better than all of these people, and he legitimately does what he says he's going to do. So I don't see anything wrong with that.
According to some people, Obama's differential in debt ratio or whatever, when he left, he was plus $5 trillion.
That's false. When he was in office in 2008, we were $4 trillion in debt.
But
when he left office, we were $20 trillion.
Yeah, I agree.
That's $16 trillion in debt.
I know, but some people try to pull up that bullshit and they create these like made up stats. I'm like, dude, I'm literally looking at this right now. Like, no matter how you spin this, it's incorrect.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, dude, people just make shit up. Like,
I'm down with people who say, "What I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it." And whenever he was having these debates with all these people, all these Republicans and shit like that, and he's like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. He's fucking doing those things.
I forgot
he
to
is
tell you
doing
guys
it.
This. When I was in San Diego, my brother told me, he's like, dude, they're building the wall down there. You can go see it. And
they have drone footage of them building it.
I almost accidentally went to a casino in Mexico when I was in San Diego. I was drunk. I was trying to find a casino, and there was one like 35 minutes away. And it was past the border. I bet I could have went through the border in like 5 minutes, probably easy. But
without a passport?
I had a passport.
Oh, okay.
But
you came prepared.
Can you guys imagine that? I'm just like chilling. I'm like, hey guys, I'm in a casino in Mexico somehow.
That'd be pretty dope.
And then you never hear from me.
They have it really. They have it legit now, dude. Like they're literally building the cities next to each other where the border meets, like right there in San Diego. So if you're from Mexico, you can literally come into America, shop, and then go right back into Mexico. Like they have that. It's real shit.
Easy.
Yeah. Well, it's allowed. It's not like an illegal thing, but.
Well, dude, and some of the people they have working at the border, like to get from California to Mexico, they could be paid off. They don't care. You know what I mean? Like you literally have just normal civilians funneling people through to Mexico or into the United States. You know what I'm saying? There could be majorly corrupt whatever happening at the toll booths.
I don't keep up on politics at all. I just have this real quick question about the wall. Does Mexico perceive this as, like, how are they looking at this? Are they getting pissed?
The cartel?
Just in general, like, so let's say cartel, average person from Mexico, and then the politicians in Mexico. Are they all against it? Or, you know?
Of course they're against it.
I don't know.
We're in a state of emergency where people are flooding our country at an alarming rate, whether it be from the north or the south. It doesn't have to just be Mexico.
What happens when you spend a bunch of money on a wall and then they figure out a very easy way to fucking just get over it? Because it is just a wall. There are ways over a wall.
Do you think that whenever they decided that they're going to make this wall, that they haven't done every analytic position on how not to let that happen? Regardless of the situation, America has an epidemic right now of the illegal immigrants that are entering our country at an alarming rate. And how long can we sustain that? That's the question. So what do we do to combat that? We do exactly what Trump says, and we build a wall. What's wrong with that? You know what I'm saying? We have to do something. As opposed to doing nothing, you want to do nothing and just allow this to continue to happen? Let's just let's do nothing.
And this was... Oh, man, this is hard for me to get into because I don't do any research on this because it's so... I hate following anything like highly political like this.
You don't have to do any research to know that there's an issue with illegal immigrants coming into our country.
It doesn't directly affect me though. Like
how so?
Hey, but dude, as long as they have kids and stuff, just let them do whatever is illegal. I mean,
yeah,
why not?
Because there are no other countries in the world that protect their borders. It doesn't happen. There's no other countries out there that don't let people just come into the country freely. No, that's fucking bullshit. Every country, you go into Mexico, you will get arrested.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just like there's
some bullshit.
Something had to be done, and we did it. So there shouldn't. Yeah.
Like you cross the border illegally, but you have a kid, and so you're gonna like cry that you didn't break the law, and then stupid people in Hollywood are gonna be like, "Oh, Trump's an asshole because he's separating families," but
those pictures were taken when Obama was in office.
But completely forget that they just broke the law. Like, as long as you have kids, it's fine. Break the law. We don't care. That's what I don't get.
It's a touchy subject. Yes, kids make everything more difficult, but at the same time, when a law is broken, a law is broken. And whenever you involve kids, like, you shouldn't have involved your kid in that.
So can you just take a kid into it, like when you're robbing a store, just like, oh, I have a kid. Leave me alone. Don't separate us.
Yeah. Don't. I'm gonna rob the store. I'm gonna hold my gun at your head and say, "Dude, my kid's right there. It's all good.
It's all good.
It's all good."
Seriously, it's ridiculous.
I'm sorry we were born in America.
No, you bring up a valid point. I can agree with you on that. Like if you get arrested for some shit, you don't just have your kid.
It's like, no, this is my kid's with me. Like, no, your kid has to go somewhere. Like, if you get arrested and you have a kid, your kid has to go somewhere. So that's the police separating families. Like, no. Don't take that guy to jail because he has a child. Just let him just chill. And you keep the money, too, by the way, from Casey's, the $37 you just stole.
Oh, man.
All right. Well, that's hopefully you guys like the podcast, man. I think that was a pretty good one. I enjoyed that.
It was.
One.
I just it's hard for me to talk about politics. And I know it's serious and it probably should be talked about. But I try to avoid it because it ends up being just...
And just to be clear, we by no means do we want people to suffer in any way whatsoever.
No.
Like anybody whatsoever. We want justice to be brought to whoever might be in fault or whatever it might be.
We're talking about real like gray area fucking issues here too. At least for me, I think a lot of it's there's so many variables.
Whether you're a male or a female, if you're ever in any way subjected to any sort of harassment, definitely tell someone. Don't wait 20 years to come out when that person's about to be a Supreme Court justice and say that. I'm being serious. Like, don't wait that long. You need to say it right when it happens. At the same time, if you're an illegal immigrant, please stay in your country. I know that America is prosperous, but we do have ways to get into our country the right way. And that is the only way.
And if you're listening to the podcast, please comment.
Yes. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell notification. Sorry I was born here, but it is what it is.
God damn it, man.
But he was born this way.